everybody and happy new year. Today is actually January 4th. Yeah, it's January 4th. I'm just sitting here. I just finished having breakfast. I'm still sipping on my coffee in my friend's holiday mug. I use this all year round though, so we'll make it. I'm the only one down here right now, except for Jake. He's laying here on the couch. It's been a while since I posted, and I thought it would be fun to just kind of do a spend the day with me kind of a video. We are currently still in our winter / holiday break from homeschool. We took the week before Christmas, then the week of Christmas, and then this week, because like New Year's Day was on Monday, and technically we could have started back Tuesday, but I didn't want to, and we were just still in total relaxation holiday mood, and I thought let's just take the rest of the week off. So we'll be starting back to homeschool next week. Today it's going to be a mix between just kind of chilling out and easing back into a routine, even though I think it's I think it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get back into the routine. Honestly, we've been having such a good break. Mike's already back at work, and Eli actually started his college classes again today. He's there right now. It was just so nice having everybody off and just the relaxing and the kind of like no schedule. As much as like there is part of me that wants to get back to, you know, just a little bit more of some semblance of a schedule. I gotta say, I am very much extra enjoying this year. You know, and just kind of the easiness and the relaxation of it all. I feel like we just really all needed it. I know I needed it, honestly, just as much for me as for the kids, but it was like a rough last few months, you know, before Christmas. A lot of you who like are subscribers or follow me, if you're not, welcome. But we, you know, started back into homeschooling. I was sick at the very beginning of that. Like I had sort of injured myself, and so that kind of put a little bit of a damper and a delayed start on the beginning of homeschooling. And then shortly after we did start back, I lost my grandmother, and so I've just been dealing with all the grief of that, and then of course the on and off just in general sickness that has been going through everyone's houses at this point. When you have this many people in the house though, 8 people, it never quite hits all at the same time. Like it's a little bit staggered. You have like a few kids sick at once, and then as soon as they start getting better, the next bunch gets sick. It just felt like we needed an extra extended time to really just do nothing. Anyway, I am looking a little bit ahead to, you know, next week. There's really not too much I have to do in terms of prep, like, because the way that we do our homeschool, there's not a lot of, in terms of like, I don't have to prep things a week in advance or anything like that. It's kind of just the night before, laying out morning time stuff, and you know, just making sure that everybody's where they need to be starting back in all the curriculum. But I've been a little bit behind on laundry, which I like to do every single day, but I have not been, so do a little bit of laundry. We do still have all our Christmas stuff up though. I don't know how much you can tell, but the tree is over there. I haven't really gotten to that. Some years we do it pretty much right away, and other years it just kind of stays. Probably what I will do, I don't know if I'll start that today or not, but I will start taking down like some of just the random decor throughout the house. And then usually the tree is the last thing to get taken down and be put away. I don't mind it so much. I'm fine with it as of now. So between those little tasks and things to do, I'm also going to start on some bread for later. We're going to be having lasagna, so I want to make some bread to go with that. I'm also working on a puzzle, so, and I would show you, except that I have the camera propped on the puzzle box. So I want to do a little bit of that as well. And also I am in the middle of reading the first book that I started reading for this year is the 3rd installment of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. So is it A Curse or True Love? Whatever number 3 is, I can't even think of what it's called now. I'm on the 3rd book. I have only like less than 100 pages left, and I'm kind of freaking out about it because I do actually really love that series, and I'm a little bit sad for it to, well, I'm a lot sad for it to be ending. I do want to get some reading in and finish that up today, and then figure out what my next read is going to be. Yeah, it's kind of a just like take it easy, take it slow, ease into life after the holidays. It was a great time spent together. Shallow's birthday was right before Christmas as well, so that's always fun. She had a Taylor Swift birthday. I posted some stuff on Instagram. Just kind of being together, hanging out as the kids get older. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't care before, because of course I did, but it's just like, if you are an older parent, you know, with like older kids, Eli will be turning 20 this year. What the heck? Finley will be turning 18 this year, and she will be graduating from high school. Shallow will be turning 16. Like, this year is a lot of big things, you know what I mean? When you celebrate the holidays and just different special occasions with older kids, you just, I don't know, it's a different experience, because I'm sort of like in the moment, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know how to put it into words. It's always a hard thing to talk about, talking about my kids getting older and stuff like that, because I don't know, like, I've had so much time with them, and homeschooling has been the best decision we've ever made, and I feel like it really just, we gained so much more time together, and it still doesn't feel like enough. It's like, how did we get here? Now, granted, all my kids are still at home. I'm so, of course, grateful for that and thankful for that. You know, they're all still under my roof, and so I know you might be thinking, like, what are you sad about? But you kind of, you know that the future, you know, is right around the corner. Like, it's looming. The changes are there. They're gonna show up at any minute. You know what I mean? And of course you're like happy to see your children grow and all the things that come with that, like, of course, but it's just, it's bittersweet for sure, you know? So I don't know, like, this Christmas was just a lot of reflecting and a lot of just taking it all in, looking around and seeing everybody sitting there and opening gifts and all the movies we watched together, and you know, hanging out at New Year's and playing games and stuff. Like, it just kind of took on a different meaning this year. And I'm sure it's going to be like that with every year that passes. This was kind of like a very long intro, but also just like a catch up. I wanted to say hi because I know I hadn't been here in a while, so I didn't just want to like jump into a video. So we're just gonna see what the day brings us. I'm going to continue drinking my coffee, and I'm probably actually gonna go and do some reading now because it's like really quiet in the house. A couple of kids are awake and they've already come down and they went back upstairs, and then other kids are still asleep. So I think I'm gonna read a little bit right now, snuggle with Jake on the couch, and then we'll get to the not so enjoyable things later. All right, so I started on the bread, and that is currently just proofing in the oven. That will be more than ready in time for me to like bake for dinner. And then I also threw in some laundry. I just wanted to get some of the blankets thrown in from the couch. I have that going as well. And then I also was like just sort of putting some stuff away. We always get like the huge Costco size, you know, toilet paper, paper towel stuff, and everybody just likes to bring it. Like usually I place an order, and so the order comes, the kids will usually help me bring the stuff in, and then usually the big bags just sit right outside the laundry room. I was putting those away, and then and then as you saw, I finished my book. Oh, I'm so extra sad that the series is over, and I'm like pretty certain that it's like actually over, that there's not gonna be any more books. And it was like the last book was, if you're not into books, you're gonna be like, okay, whatever, Jen. But I'd heard people saying they had mixed feelings about the last book. I think that that goes with anything. Anytime there's like a wrap up to a series, you're gonna have like people who are all for it and people who's just like, that is not what they wanted. I understand, like I think it wrapped up really well. I think that the way that it ended and the way that the story concluded, I feel like everybody got what they deserved. My only gripe was that there was characters, because I don't want to give anything away, characters that I so wish we had seen more of, having it be the last book. Just more scenes, certain scenes of them. There was also characters we didn't see anything of, which was a little bit shocking, because like for 2 books they were there, and then suddenly it was like, I was like a quarter of the way through, and that's when it hit me. I was like, wait a minute, where are these characters? That was a little bit like disappointing. All in all, like I loved it. All in all, I loved it. I literally like sped through it in no time. I'm just sad it's over. So I was putting everything away, and actually I don't think you guys have seen, because a lot of times when I film, like this is where I film, like if I'm doing sit down videos, but I don't think I've shown, I have a new bookcase in my room because my reading and my book collecting has slightly gotten ahead. I was resisting getting a bookcase because I didn't want to overtake the room, although I already was. My books were already overtaking the room. I just didn't have anywhere to put them. So yeah, so I kind of have like, I have this shelf here, which I've had for a while from IKEA. It's not really like a bookshelf, it's just a shelf. It's a little more square and deeper. So for a while I had like 2 rows of books, and there's a good chance over time I will end up doing that again, but it's just a lot harder to see your books, you know, when they're like that. I already had that, and then we have the tree here now. I usually have this cart that's here is usually on that side where the tree is. I had stolen this from the homeschool room at the beginning of summer to have extra space to put my books. I have all that filled. And then over top here, this like wall shelf that's over Jakey's cage, I also have some books. So yeah, I was kind of bursting at the seams with books, and I finally just caved and got this shelf. This was just from Walmart. I didn't want to spend a lot, and I just wanted a white bookshelf. This one literally fits perfectly in this spot, as you can see. Like it's a snug fit. It just slid in there. But I gotta say, I'm really happy with it. Is it bad though that it's already full? I mean, I guess technically, you know, I have some books on display, so if I changed that, I could fit more books. Just, I love looking at it. It's just my favorite. I have my Hamilton, my All About Hamilton, the musical. And then I have all of the Once Upon a Broken Heart series books because the covers are just so beautiful. This is another one of my favorites that I read last year, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And then up at the top, I have, this is my other Hamilton book, the actual like life of Alexander Hamilton that inspired the musical. I have some manga up the top, mostly Spy Family. I have this picture of Hamilton that Everly drew for me for my birthday, and I put it in a friend's frame. And then I also have this Lego version of the Hamilton set that Grayson made for me up here. So lots of fun stuff. I actually Mike got me a few books for Christmas. He did get me this copy of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow because when I read it, I had taken it out from Libby, so I read it online. I wanted a physical copy of it, so he got me that. He also got me Divine Rivals, which I have not read yet, but I'm contemplating if that's going to be my next read, because I also have the second one that just came out, which is Ruthless Vows. So I'm kind of anxious to, then again, I'm anxious to read Fourth Wing too, which I haven't read, or Powerless. I mean, I want to read all my books, but there's like a few that I've been sort of extra anxious to read, wanting to read, and then I have like decision fatigue and I don't know what to pick. That's going to be my next decision that I'm going to have to make now that I finished A Curse for True Love. Anyway, so he got me that one. He got me the Divine Rivals. What else did he get? Oh yeah, he got me Betting on You by Lynn Painter. That one just came out. And then he got me the series Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It is a book of short stories. I think there's currently 4 books in the series, and he got me the second one, which is called Tales from the Cafe, which I have already read. Originally, I was going to go for a walk. I've been trying to, well, I try to move my body every day. Like I try to do something exercise, fitness wise every day. If I'm not like working out, then I try to go for a walk every day if I can. Of course, today it snowed. Not that you can't go for walks in the snow, but this is probably like our, I don't know, second or third snowfall of the entire winter season, and actually this is probably the most snow that has actually stayed. It snowed overnight. I don't even think we're gonna get any more snow the rest of the week, but it is like -4 or -5, which again, it has been way colder, and I've gone for walks, I've gone for runs in way colder, but I feel like I've been a little bit spoiled with the fact that it's been a mild winter and it's kind of a shock to the system. I went for a walk, not yesterday, the day before I went for a walk, and it was like -1, and I was freezing. I mean, that is cold, but it felt like -30. So I don't think I'm gonna go for a walk today. I'm probably just going to work out. So I'll either work out up here with my weights. I have some free weights that I keep in the closet, and I'll do like an upper body workout. I may go downstairs. I'm not even going out of the house, but I may go downstairs to our actual like gym area. We shall see. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make myself a little bit of a snack, and because I just have the laundry going, and you know, like I've done quite a few things this morning that I wanted to do, and like I said, I still want to sort of keep it pretty low-key today. So I think I'm gonna go grab myself a snack, sit down, and do a little bit more of my puzzle. Okay, so let me tell you what my absolute go-to lunch has been lately. I'm always looking for fast, easy, somewhat healthy lunches as a mom of 6, a mom of 6 who homeschools, all the things. If it's not easy, I'm not gonna eat it, basically. Like if it's not easy, I'm gonna take shortcuts. This is how I take a shortcut without it being like the worst for you. I have very specific stomach sensitivities. Mostly I'm just trying to get as much protein as possible without also like upsetting my stomach. So obviously this might not work for everybody, but this is pretty much all Costco things, okay? Because it's the easiest way for me to just get everything at one place, and then it lasts me for a long time. So cherry tomatoes, I literally just grab a handful of cherry tomatoes. And then hummus. Got the roasted red pepper hummus this time. A lot of times I just get the plain hummus because the kids tend to, like the kids will use hummus on things, and they tend to like the plain one. So a lot of times I got the plain one, but they had the roasted red pepper. So I thought I would switch it up a little bit. I pretty much put everything in hummus, or put hummus on everything. It's just really good. And it makes everything that seems bland, not so bland. I'm using a knife, but it's probably like a tablespoon and a half. I don't measure, I'm just like telling you, maybe 2 tablespoons, whatever. This is not so much about counting calories or portion sizes. I figure this is still healthier than eating, you know, a bag of Doritos or something like that. And then mini cucumbers. Now, usually they're a lot more mini than this. They're like half the size of this, but still smaller cucumbers, but you can use a whole cucumber as well. I just like the mini ones. Then I just use like one whole entire one. I cut it in half, and then I slice each half in half. It's just a little bit easier to, you know, like scoop up the hummus. And then pretzel crisps, which I also love. Everybody loves them. I really love pretzel crisps as well. I grab a little handful of those. Again, just a little handful, maybe a big handful. of those. Now, I do variations of these too, so sometimes some of the things are different. Sometimes I use snap peas, kind of whatever I can find or whatever I'm in the mood for. Sometimes I'll get like a bag of tri-colored peppers and cut those up to dip in the hummus. The other day I had chicken salad, but like I use the chicken salad like a dip with my veggies. So I do different things like that. Sometimes I'll put in some turkey sticks, like some turkey pepperettes, sort of. Today what I have, these come in like a pack of I think 12 or something like that. This is fully cooked chicken breast and it has 24 grams of protein. So I cut one of these packs up and I add it to my little snack ensemble, and it's such a good lunch. And sometimes I will also have an Alani protein drink to have with it, not all the time. This is another 20 grams of protein, and there you have it. Like, I mean, I was chatting through it. Literally, it'll take you 2 minutes to assemble, and it's so good.
Brand new street and brand new me. Side by friends I need. Don't you tell me that you're in town. I already know. Couple days ago. Hey, now that our names are written in stone, let's be honest, sounds like home. Still I'm here alone and I'm calling your phone. I wish I could wipe my own memory out. I wish I could dream about somebody else. I wish I could talk when the silence so loud. I wish, oh I wish I could wipe my own memory out. I wish I could do something that will make sense. I wish I would know what you're thinking about. I wish I could wipe my own memory out. Saw you now. Dreams might turn into something real. Don't you give me that look, take a bow. Already know, now you gotta go. Hey, now that our names are written in stone, let's be honest, sounds like home.
So it is now just after 4 o'clock, and as you can see, I did not do any of the putting away of Christmas decor. I decided to leave that for another day. I didn't feel like lugging up totes and boxes. Now I could have gotten the kids to help me, obviously, but I just honestly I didn't feel I just didn't feel like doing it. After I was sitting at the table doing the puzzle, I don't know, something about sitting in the chair, and we have cushions on our kitchen chairs, but still, like, they're like wooden chairs, you know, the back and everything like that. Just because I have back problems and issues, like every little tiny, not every, any little tiny thing can set off discomfort or pain or anything like that. And so my lower back was just going crazy. So I actually wanted to do it longer, and I just had to move and sit on the couch for a little bit, and I'm still not feeling all that great. Kind of been agitating me the last little bit. I don't know if it's been like the weather or like what, but I figured the last thing I should be doing is anything that's like overly strenuous in that way. Instead, I did get lasagna put in the oven, so that is in, the timer's on. And then what else? I switched over the laundry, so the sheets are in the dryer, and I'll check that in a little bit. Everybody had lunch, so that's good. Everyone's been waking up late. Here's the thing, talk about being on a fun schedule, is that everybody has been waking up late to various degrees. Because we've been on Christmas break, I've been very lenient about when everybody is waking up and stuff like that. Everybody's in a staggered state, so nobody is eating at the same time. Staggered breakfast, late breakfast, same thing with lunch. Now Eli is walking Jake, the big girls are reading, the little girls are playing in their room. I think Grayson said he was reading for a bit, and then he said he was going to do some Lego, and Mike should be leaving shortly to come home. I thought I would make myself a hot chocolate. I don't know, I felt like, I think because looking outside and seeing the snow made me feel like I wanted a hot chocolate. So I made a hot chocolate in my Way Done mug that says Chilly Days on one side and Cozy Nights on the other. And then I also have one little Ferrero Rocher. I'm gonna have one little Ferrero Rocher. This is about as much as I need anyway to curb any kind of like sweet tooth I may have, because I don't generally have a sweet tooth. I finally decided on another book. So I was like, really, this is like my biggest struggle. If you are a reader, then I think you'll understand. If you're not a reader, like when I talk to Mike about this, he's like, okay. It's like part excitement and part stressful to pick a new book, okay? Because when you are an avid reader, you are constantly thinking of books that you want to read. I was showing you guys on my bookshelf, like I have a ton of books that I am still anticipating reading. And so it's hard to choose because I want to read them all at the same time. So even though I pick one that I do want to read, it's like choosing that one means not choosing all these other ones. Do you know what I'm saying? And it is a struggle bus every time that I'm on. I was debating whether or not I was going to pick one of the ones that I had said, like it was like they were all basically falling in the fantasy category, and then I completely swerved in the other way. I was looking through my books, I went through my book cart there that I have, and I decided to pick up None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which is like a thriller, suspense thriller kind of book. The little blurb at the top just says, when a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they've both worked hard to project and protect. Aside from that, I don't really like to read the entire synopsis. I feel like they just give away too much. I'm going to go into this one just for something completely different. This is under 400 pages, and a lot of times these kinds of books are pretty quick reads too, and the chapters look like they're fairly short chapters too, which I find makes it an even like faster read for me anyway when they're shorter chapters. I'm gonna read this for a little bit while everyone is kind of like occupied and stuff like that, because again, today is all about somewhat getting things done, but also taking it easy, and there's nothing I enjoy more than sitting down with a hot drink and reading a book. It is now 6:30. We're gonna be having supper shortly. Mike's home. Things didn't quite go as I had planned for the rest of the evening. As I was laying here, well, like I was like sitting in bed, you know, after my last clip, I went to like kind of like just move positions, and my lower back and hip just, I don't know. It's like not a cramp. I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel like it's like seized up or something. I really don't know how to explain it, but Mike was making the bread for me. I read a little bit of the book, but actually I didn't read a whole bunch because I'm on page 42, because I actually was like, it was hard to pay attention because I was feeling so like not great. That's kind of where we're at. Probably not gonna work out. We'll see what the rest of the evening brings. I'm probably going to have a hot bath, which I try to do it most nights anyway, but for sure tonight I'll try to check back in.